Hi there. Right. The layout's looking a bit like a sort of train museum at the moment. But that's because I decided to get most of my locomotives and cars out just to do a final sort of show of what everything is. So let's start with the ones on the main line. Firstly, here is the Proto 2000 E7 in Burlington livery. Sorry, paint scheme. It's an American train, so I should call it paint scheme. This is pulling the California Zephyr, or at least a sort of fairly shortened version of it. Shortened because I decided I couldn't afford to get more than 5 cars without just sort of bankrupting myself. Plus, it's convenient sort of siding space, and also if we back up to way over here, it fits on one side of the layout and looks pretty good. On the other hand, this train coming right in front of it is the North Coast Limited, which is all hand spray painted by me. All of those cars, yes, every single one. And actually one of them lighted here. There's a video coming up on that. That one is being pulled by 3 Aether and Genesis F9s. Now those, I think the first one there was bought for me as a birthday present. And then later, I think that maybe 2004, summer 2004, my parents saw that the other 2 were on offer on the website Discount Trains Online, and so decided to get me the other 2, and they have worked perfectly ever since. I think they are probably the most reliable engines I have, and certainly some of the best detailed. There is a review video of these, and look at that. All the detailing on the side is just terrific. The cars, a sort of various assortment of Walthers. These 2 are Walthers. These are all kind of a mixture of Rivarossi and IHC, I think. I've got a couple of Walthers dome cars to put in that train, and which will replace the 2 coaches which are there and there, either side of the one existing dome, which I haven't spray painted yet. So that will be the final addition to the train. And then it will be pretty much complete. So I'll be able to run a kind of 9-car version of it on this layout, and if I take it to sort of conventions and bigger layouts, I'll be able to run a full sort of 11-car thing, which will be pretty good. I've also got some sleepers lying around somewhere. I've only got 1 sleeper in the train at the moment, but I will eventually get some more. Okay, need to get on. Right. This is the Southern Pacific E8. Now I'm told they only ever had 1 of these, so actually I should have bought an E7. But the E8 was cheap, and I liked the E8s as well. Oh, it's got some sort of a drop of something on it. Ah, I think that could be a spider spot. How charming. Spider has basically dropped bits of molten fly all over my engine. Thanks very much. Arrgh. It's one of the downsides of keeping it in the layout, keeping the layout in the garage. But it's okay. They wash off. It's just the thought, which I guess is disgusting. Alright, I might edit this out. Yeah, this is the Southern Pacific E8. I'm told that there are only 1 of them, so I should have got maybe an E7, but the E8 was cheaper, and also I like the way Proto 2000 made the E8s. I think they're probably the most reliable engines other than those that we've got. Very nice flashing lights and all kinds of things. These 2 are Bachmann, I think Bachmann Plus. They're before the Bachmann Spectrum days. Bachmann Plus SD45s, and they're exactly the same road number. So, well, oops, never mind. Those belong to my brother, so I think he said he couldn't be bothered sort of hatching one number off and getting a different one. You know, doesn't matter. They look great together anyway, and they're very, very strong engines, and they pull his Burlington Northern hockey stick train. These 2 I've discussed in a previous video. These are Atlas U33s, which these are a custom paint job. I painted that myself into the paint scheme of the Northern Pacific's freight. livery. Those are Athearn ready-to-roll F7s in the wall bonnet Santa Fe livery. Those are really good. We've done a little work on those. We've brought the bodies closer together and we did a little work on the headlight. Right, let's go right round. Bin in the way. I thought I'd leave one train going round so there was kind of something to watch every so often. These are the PAs, these ones right here. These are Proto 2000 again. We have a lot of Proto 2000 stuff. They're Proto 2000 PAs, A and B set, both powered, Mars lights and all kinds of fancy stuff. All of this is DC, standard DC by the way. And yeah, they're very, very nicely detailed, and one of my brother's favourites. My brother's kind of favourite railroad is the Santa Fe, so he has a lot of Santa Fe. We've got now this is a real classic. We've got two of these, I think. This is an E6. This one is in the Santa Fe livery. What I like about this one is that you see the nose here. See, that's the nose of a normal E unit. It's not so slanted, but look at this one here. Let's compare the noses for slantage. That's really slanty and just beautiful streamlining. This one really pulls nicely as well, so he's got that on his, I think that's the Chief there, but with some Athearn cars. This is, what's this one? The HHP8, the Acela engine, which my brother got in 2008, I think, 2008, 9, something like that. I think it's only about a year old in any case, and there are nice coaches with it. That's by Bachmann Spectrum. That's a fairly recent engine, I think. This one is another custom paint job by me, actually. I spray painted this black and then did all the lines around the side, and all the decals and so on. A lot of hand grabs and stuff around the roof. So yeah, I did that. I guess it would have been 2005 or 6. Those are both Athearn ready to roll. I painted them from kind of, I think, undecorated or something. Proto 1000, which is I think a discontinued line. They don't do 1000 stuff anymore because I think people decided that for their money they'd rather get the more detailed versions of something rather than the sort of less detailed and pretty much the same price. But this is a Northern Pacific Bud RDC. It's a kind of American equivalent of those British Rail one car class 153 units, which I think Hornby are making really good models of now. In any case, this is kind of the American precursor to this. These were built in the 60s. That's a really handy one for layouts like this, because you can just have, all it takes is one tiny little spur going off the layout. You can kind of have a tiny little tucked away station here, and you can kind of run it backwards and forwards in between these longer trains, and it's a really cute little thing as well. Quite like it. Anyway, this one here, this one is my first ever HO scale engine. This is another Athearn ready to roll F7, which I've since gone back and detailed actually. It didn't come with all of the number boards and the hand grabs and so on put on. I actually added those. So yes, that was fun to do. And yeah, that one is about, I think 16, 17 years old now. Or it's been in my ownership that long, something like that. This one here, an F40PH, classic American passenger engine from the 90s. These hauled all of the American Amtrak passenger trains all throughout the 90s and some of the 80s I think as well. All with the big double-deck superliner coaches, which I haven't got any of, but I might get those someday. I use this to pull a bunch of Amfleet cars, which are these ones. That, yeah, well, they look the same as those. Right behind it is the Connex Class 466. That's a really nice one. That belongs to my brother. That's another really good one. Same as that. Doesn't require much siding space and is an excellent runner. Directional lighting. That's Hornby, I think, as well. These two coaches I'll get to in an upcoming video. These are the first two of the Hiawatha set, which my brother started collecting. I bought those for his birthday, and he's since sort of bought a couple more to complete the train. Right here, this one is of great personal value to me. This is a Baltimore and Ohio E7, again by Proto 2000. This one was bought for me by my granddad in 2009 or something, from actually a store not too far from Baltimore called Model Train Stuff. Oh no, that's the website. It's called MD Klein's. Fantastic model train shop, and a great website too. I recommend you give them as much business as possible, because they're just a fantastically large American model train shop. Obviously we've got Pendolino, I've covered this one before, Hornby Pendolino, Hornby Intercity 125, which is great train, and the Bachmann Spectrum Acela train set. All of those three are kind of my high-speed train fleet. There are a couple others, but those are the best of them, so I keep those out. Right, I think I left a couple out here. Those are F3s. What are they? Proto 1000 again. Proto 1000. Those belong to my brother, obviously, because they're Santa Fe. These ones we've dubbed the perfect freight engines because they are the most reliable. I don't think they've ever derailed. Not only that, but they can haul a freight through any point, through any of these points, without derailing once at any speed. It's absolutely amazing. It's great because you can just leave it going. This freight train here, it's so brilliant. You can just leave it going and it won't have accidents or anything at all. Here we are. This is my only northern New York Central power, other than the Dreyfus Streamline Hudson. This is a set of Bachmann Plus F7s, I think. The moulding's kind of, leaves a little bit to be desired, but they run very, very well, so they're great for hauling my 20th Century Limited, which actually it's kind of shared between my brother and I. Here's a bunch of rolling stock. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much everything. I've got to deal with that squeaking now, because it's driving me insane. That's pretty much all of the engines that I use regularly. So, all the best. See you next time.